Hello and welcome to another edition of Local Yokel. And here somebody made kind of like a donation here, which is nice. So when they passed away or whatever, they decided they'd put up a flagpole, give this here to the Lake St. Clair Metropark. So that's a cool thing. Anyways, I'm going to take a spin through the neighborhood here. They have a beach rental kind of thing. So they have kayaks, $20 an hour. They got canoes, bikes. So they got all that plus snacks and whatnot. Here's the official name, Lake St. Clair Metropark. As a kid, our family, mom and dad would throw us all in the station wagon, or we would jump in probably, and we'd head for the beach. And we called it Metro Beach back then. So they have QR codes now. So if you're a young whippersnapper and find it easy with your phone, you can do that. I've never recall this being around, but yeah, they have entertainment on Sundays. There's the website there. Sundays 6:30 to 9, and it's free. Well, you have park admission. Ichigu Park. Sounds like a peace, love, and rock and roll type thing. So my parents are out here. They wanted to reminisce or remember back then, and I did too. So I said, okay, let's take a trip. So here it was on a Sunday afternoon. A little overcast to begin with, but there was a higher humidity, and it was warm enough certainly for a beach day. There's some seagulls around here, quite a few of them actually, but people were swimming, cooling off. Here you can listen to the waves. Yeah, this is Lake St. Clair. So there's a lot of boat activity, which is really nice to see. Boats are cool. You can kind of see how the other half live, kind of thing. But no, if you have a boat, enjoy. I like these little canopy things. That would be better than an umbrella. Put a little tent, you'd have shade, you could rotate it, and then the wind wouldn't catch the umbrella or toss it around. They have a splash park or a water park. They got different names for these things. Here's a lay of the land. My parents and I are going to take the little trolley trip, or it's like a shuttle bus, down to the point there. And they got a gazebo. I'm going to check out the gazebo. So yeah, if you have young kids, it's a good place for you out here. They have lifeguards in the main pool. And that's a huge pool. And then they got 2 water slides down there. Then like a jungle gym, that like an obstacle course you can go through there. And then this is like a safari trip. That's my dad in the front seat there. And so we took that shuttle van down to Huron Point. So we'll see what kind of view we can get from out here. There's a canal over there, and we'll check that out in a little bit. Check out more of the boats, a closer look at the boats. But yeah, we got some pleasure craft out here. I think they got to clear those 2 buoys, and then they can open throttle kind of thing. But when they go in through the channel, yeah, no wake kind of thing. They got to rumble slowly through. But yeah, Lake St. Clair. It's like a baby lake. We have the 5 Great Lakes, but we also have Lake St. Clair. That's a bonus. So here are the jet skis, and yeah, it looks like fun, but you know what they say, for heaven's sakes, be careful. Then there's like wildflowers out here, and it's kind of like marshland. Look at here too. You can make a donation and put up like a park bench. That's a good way to give back so future generations know who anteed up. or did something nice for the community. It would be a nice way of, or a nice touch to do something like that. I haven't done up the will. I'm going to have to, though, because my time might be coming up sooner than I think. Should have done this years ago, but yeah, when you get older, you start thinking about those things. And so, yeah, maybe I'll put in my will to donate, find a just cause. Maybe if the Bryant Branch clock is not fixed, by the time I pass, I'll put up money to fix that clock. Put my money where my mouth is. Here's the shuttle van. So yeah, they'd have one. Well, they got a geese crossing here. They'd have one at one end and one at the other, and they would just alternate. Those are some big birds here. I don't know if those are the blue herons, but they have a lot of picnic areas here, and you can rent those shelters. And here you can have a nice walk along the, I don't know if you call it a channel or a canal. You only want to walk to the end here and then no further, but they have a bunch of marina slips, and I guess you could just park it here for a day or whatnot, but these are private residences over here, and look at that. 4 outboard motors. I bet you that's quick. Looks like they're dredging or putting in some pilings or something. Something's going down there. They got some heavy artillery. My cabana. Yeah, I think this is officially Harrison Township. Selfridge Air National Guard is just up the way, maybe not even a mile as the crow flies. Some of the boats, a rowboat with a motor, Fisher type boat. I'm checking out these birds. There was like a bunch of these trees, and they look like they're all dead, but seem like a good perching spot. There's like a half dozen trees there, and all those birds. Here was a fisherman. He said the fishing wasn't good today. He said it was too hot. Then a couple of swans. I'm waiting to see a black swan. I think I've only seen white ones in my lifetime. Okay, gonna go for some food there. Wildlife in action. Oh, they can hold their breath pretty good. Chomping on something. But yeah, I don't even know what kind of birds these are. Mini vultures, maybe? A decent wingspan. I need to be schooled. And then this was like a reveal, and I heard... I think that was a gender reveal, but somebody said it was blue, and then maybe it went from blue to white smoke. Let me see. Let me turn this back here. Let's see. Okay, I'll turn the sound up. Maybe it was to celebrate something else. I'm not quite sure what went down there, but looks like they're congratulating the young couple. Here's a closer look at those birds. Then you can do the paddle boat thing. The kayak seems like it would be fun. And if you want, you can rollerblade. Or take your John Deere out for a spin. Or the houseboat. My parents were relaxing here. There's my mom and my dad, and they were checking out the boat action. People were going to and fro and up and back. It was interesting. You know, people watching is a fun sport to do. and it doesn't really cost any money. Don't jump in the water though. It seems like it would hurt. I guess they're charging the boats. You don't know how somebody drops the outlet in it. Oh, someone else can explain all that to you. But some of these boats are sharp. Here's 4 outboard motors again. Yeah, you can tell when a speedboat goes by or a boat that's pretty fast. You can hear that rumble. Here's like a modern home. I checked the prices with Zillow. It was the glare on the cell phone. It was hard to really see, but it seemed like $600,000 to $1 million for these homes. You know, of course, they weren't for sale, but that looks like a flying pig. Correct me if I'm wrong. Looked like it had wings. But yeah, it would be nice to own a home and then have, hop in your boat, in the backyard and off you go. That would be convenient. That would be living the good life. But yeah, this whole, it's like a parade of boats going to and fro, up and back all day long. It's a great place to have a picnic. Yogi Bear probably and Boo Boo would love this area. Then they have like these that you can put a canopy, I think, over to get a little shade. 47 minutes. I'm not sure if that would be like 47 minutes out of an hour. Oh, I feel for these ladies having to wear this black outfit. Oh, times they are changing. We have to be a little bit more progressive. We worry about keeping kids locked up in cars with the windows up, and we worry about our pets in the cold weather and all that, and you see all the commercials, and it's like, oh, man, I'm just saying. This one's quick. Yeah, that looked like it would have been fun. Anyways, that was the end of that trip. Then I was doing the moon action, and I said I got up in the middle of the night, and the camcorder has trouble sometimes. It wants to make it a full moon, but at this point, it's supposed to be the first quarter. Let's see what they say. So I'm going, I got up, this was before 6. I'm not doing too good here. I'm just going to get to the top here and show you. So it was like half full. The third quarter, yeah, it's like a football thing. We're in the third quarter here. And moon altitude, direction. Yeah, you can track the moon. And then, all right, well, here, while I'm at it, I ran out of, video, so this is filler video. U.S. population, you can see it slowly ticking up. And this is off the internet. So 1 birth every 8 seconds, 1 death, 11, and then there's international migrant. I don't know if that includes illegals too or how that works. Then the 10 most populous, here's the world population. You can see that wheel spinning pretty good. India's going to overtake China pretty soon, and we're in third place, but Indonesia and Pakistan, give them another 15, 20 years, and they'll probably pass us. But here I wanted to check, and you'll have to check these figures. I'm not sure if Wikipedia is the end-all, beat-all authority and stuff like that, but there's a lot of sites that cover race and ethnicity, whatever. Census does a lot of things. But here I wanted to see the percentage of white people. So this is a 2021 estimate. Percent of population that identify as white is 59.3. Then Hispanic and Latino, I'm going to have to school myself on really what the difference between those two are. Then Black and Asian. And then 2 or more races. We see a lot more 2 or more races in people nowadays too. All right. So here's a foster thing. I'm not sure how this works, but I wanted to pull up something on starfish. But they were talking about mentoring people. But anyways, I had to hit the back button because this is what I'm going to share this story later. We probably all heard this multiple times, but I'm going to refresh everyone's memory. The starfish story. That's the Cliff Notes version, that top line. But I'll read that paragraph. That tells the whole story. All right, they did this, we did that. Tit for this, tit for tat. What the holy frickin' frack. Yeah, I have trouble thinking of the Holy Land when they're always fighting like that. What's holy about all that? Okay, I got A, B, and C. We're going to do a math equation. So white is 59.3. The population of the U.S. is up top, 336, and then the world is on the bottom, 8 billion. That will be fraction A, and then fraction B was the white. And then I checked this earlier, male and female, and I think there might even be some for in between or something. But you take those three fractions, and A times B times C equals, and you get 1.2%. A times B times C. It's kind of a simple arithmetic problem, not too difficult. But yeah, the white population, the white male population in the United States is shrinking. So that's cause for concern for a lot of these MAGA people because they don't want to lose that white privilege or superiority type thing. And if that's a thing for you, yeah, it's happening because more Hispanic people are moving in. And but we're getting diverse for sure. All right, I want to show Paradise Valley. Woodward Avenue, that was the parade route I showed from a previous event. But we got Ford Field and Comerica Park. And then that's Gratiot. And Hastings Street, which was the heart and soul of Paradise Valley and the Black Bottom community. There's one stretch of Hastings Street just north of I-94. Just a little stretch there, but I-75 and 375 tore through the heart of that community. So now it's time to reestablish that. So there's your V, or peace kind of thing, or victory. But yeah, Woodward and Gratiot, and you could have a secondary one along Jefferson. But here's 375. They're going to tear this stretch up. They have a terrible plan. We have to re-envision whatever they had surface roads. Oh, they got to make this the new Paradise Valley. So that stretch. So here, another victory, another Paradise Valley, two of them. Two for the price of one. But yeah, Gratiot will be the center of all that. All right, to get back to this war thing, somebody can put this to music. And then like the refrain where everybody in the audience would yell back, would say, yeah, what the holy frickin' frack. Yeah, this war thing is just absolute insanity. You would think that in the 21st century, we would be on this point, that thing like if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it. And there's tons of quotes like that. But yeah, we're not studying history. World's Motor Capital. Yeah, this is when I started producing Motor Capital. It was back in 1996. The Detroit Auto Show was the first show I ever did. Here, the World Cup. This was a big to-do, too. That got me on the international kick and this whole, like, diversity thing. And Olympics. Detroit. Yeah, I wanted, Detroit applied for the Olympics 9 different times, and they were shut out nine times. Can you imagine? We were world class back then, but then we hit upon hard times. All right, here's the downtown loop. This map's getting old, but take the Lodge down, then to Jefferson, 375, cross 94, and then head south back on the Lodge. But yeah, the downtown loop. And there's the Detroit Cup. Some people call it the Necklace District, but I say if we're going to go with symbolism, and why not? It's time to drink from the cup. All right, well, here's diversity. Some people, want everybody just to be white, lily white, but there's differences in religion. You talk to 100 people, you'll get 100 different views on religion. Cultural stuff, that's certainly different too. Traditions, economic, the middle class, and then the Donald Trump billionaire class. The big one is sexual and gender. That's the one that gets everybody's panties in a bunch. And they worry about that. It's like horrible. But there's so much diversity in any number of things, even the language. And there's like 9. This is a puzzle I could handle because it's only 9 pieces. So once I get the border done, I think I could figure out the last piece. It might take me a few hours, but I'm not the sharpest tack in the box. All right, well, I ran out of video, so I'm going to just try something different here. I'm going to eject this tape, and I'm going to go back in time to 1998. And I'm just going to play this as background. And then I'm going to turn it off because I'll get distracted if I look at the video. So I'll just not see what you're seeing. And then afterwards, I'll go back and see how it looked. But, okay, it's in. I'm going to press play. Got the Honolulu blue screen. Yeah, on this tape. Okay, I'm looking at the screen now, but I'm going to switch it over so I don't see this. But this was downtown. Back then they called it the Montreux Jazz Festival. And I don't think they can use that name. But the Jazz Festival will be coming up here Labor Day weekend. And that's a pretty good to do. Okay. So I'm going to pull the plug on the video here. Or no, I'm not going to switch my input source to the TV. Okay, HDMI. Okay. So now I got regular TV, so I'm watching Local 4 Plus here on Monday morning. John Witt's the event producer. He's doing the Arts, Beats, and Eats, and that's in Royal Oak. Dearborn has the nice thing with the homecoming, but we could go for another festival, squeeze that in somehow. It could be done. All right, let me see if I can just change the screen so I don't even see. I don't want to watch the TV in the background either. Yeah, I think I know what I'll do. I'll pull the plug on the back of the TV. 1 second here. Well, that doesn't work either. Let's see. I think I can actually just shut the TV off. That'll do it. I don't need to use it as a monitor. All right, we're 23 minutes in. Yeah, I can experiment on this thing because it's public access. And the way the public access works is you don't have to pay for the airtime. You can produce a show, but you got to kind of produce it in the public interest, and you're not supposed to master it or make it like a business advertisement. But what I do is I advertise or promote the Detroit scene, so I'm walking around in the Dearborn scene too. I walk around and see what's happening, so it's kind of like advertising the cities. So urban planning is kind of a thing that I think is important. So I'm flying blind here, which is cool, because if I was trying to read you or talk about stuff, I would be distracted by looking at the video monitor, and I'd be wanting to say what was going on, but we're not going to do that. So let me start here with the I wonder how much I'm going to talk. I might not take the full hour. But this would be like the psychobabble bullshit kind of portion of it. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. For sure. All right. I printed it. It's so nice on the internet. You can just print stuff out, or you have a question, you just go to the internet and Google it, and the information you can get is so lickety-split quick. You got to love this. back in the day, our family had an encyclopedia set, like 28 volumes or whatever. And if you wanted information on something, you'd alphabetically go there and read up on something, which was cool. But now with this internet, damn, this is crazy. But anyways, I wanted to pull up the starfish story. And because I remember that from the past, and I wanted to get the specifics and call it. There's probably different interpretations, but I got this from Foster Alumni Mentors. So I'm not sure how their program works or whatever, but you could have like a lot of older people, senior people, mentor younger people, you know, because they did the job back in the day. They could school kids or give advice or whatnot. I think we're losing out, actually, not getting the seniors involved to share, you know, because they've been around the block a couple of times already, and these young whippersnappers just starting out, you know, it's nice to have a little experience under your belt, and if you can have a mentor help you, that's all the better. And the younger folks should have good ears and listen, and then take it for what it's worth, and then move forward. And I know what they're thinking. I think it's funny, too. They'll say, okay, boomer, which I guess is, they do it for those know-it-all type people. You son of a bitch, you think you're so goddamn smart. But sometimes you just want to share things with younger folk to say, hey, you know, try this idea. You might see what you think of this, or, you know, we've done this before and this didn't work, and maybe we could do this or that. You know, anytime you have an idea, it's a good thing. And then, you know, you hash it out. And sometimes there's reasons why what your idea was so good, you find out, well, maybe that isn't such a good idea. You find out there's complications. But at least you went through the process of kind of bringing it up and vetting it out. But other times you might say, hot damn. You could be Johnny on the spot and hit something hot, and you could be trendy. Like, I think the trendy thing now is that brat thing, and I'm not sure the total definition. I guess somebody released an album, and brats, like, you can make mistakes, but you're cool and hip, and I'm not, they were saying Kamala might be brat, but I think Detroit's kind of brat then. Detroit's got a vibe or a thing, and we'll have to see if that definition really maps out. But anyways, I'm babbling on. All right, the starfish story. I got my glasses here, and I'm going to read the full starfish story. It says, a young man is walking along the ocean and sees a beach on which thousands and thousands of starfish have washed ashore. Further along, he sees an old man walking slowly and stooping often, picking up one starfish after another and tossing each one gently into the ocean. And that's important to do it gently, for sure. And then the young man asks, he goes, why are you throwing starfish into the ocean, he asked. That's the young man asking the old man. The old man replies, because the sun is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them further in, they will die. But old man, don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and starfish all along it? You can't possibly save them all. You can't even save 1/10 of them. In fact, even if you work all day, your efforts won't make any difference at all. That's like a quote there. So then the punchline here is, the old man listened calmly and then bent down to pick up another starfish and threw it into the sea. It made a difference to that one. So that was his quote. Yeah, it certainly made a difference to that one. So I think we can all look at that and all glean something. The Cliff Notes version of that was, we can't help them all, but if we sure can make a difference in the life of just one person, it will create a ripple effect that will last for generations. So, yeah. So we can all do our little thing and make a difference in the life of just one person. Yeah, and that's a powerful message or a story. Some people always psychobabble, oh God, yeah, here we go again, kind of thing. And I get part of that. I don't want to go overboard with psychology and stuff because, you know, it sounds like you're almost preaching or whatnot. But, you know, as you get older and stuff, then you think, well, what difference or what can you do to make society better? And a lot of times it's like, yeah, if you can make a difference in one person, mentor somebody or teach kids the knowledge that you know in various things. And there's so many people that do that, the volunteers, and then there's coaches and all number of things. There's a lot of people doing a lot of things. So people can all take heart that they're doing something to make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? So I still got time, 31 minutes. Yeah, so they give me a full hour. So now what do I talk about? Well, the Paradise Valley thing, that was a little bit before my time. I was born in 1960, but it was like after the World War II and stuff, and then through 1960s, whatever. Paradise Valley was hopping. There were a lot of nightclubs and bars along Hastings Street, and I just missed in on all that action, and I would imagine it was a lot of fun. The white folk would sneak into the black hood and just have themselves a party, because black folk, you're not supposed to make stereotypes or whatever, but if they're a good stereotype, I think you can get away with it. But yeah, black people know how to party. I don't think that surprises anyone. They know how to have a good time, and they'll figure something out to enjoy life and do things, even though they might be hard. You know, they'll get a little music going and whatnot. So that's why I like the Burt's Marketplace with their scene that they got going on there. But there was a new restaurant that opened up, I think, in the Randolph Park area or whatever, near the music hall, and they call it Paradise Valley Restaurant or something, but I'm going to have to check that out. But good food is always a good thing too. But when you do this urban planning, yeah, let's restore Paradise Valley. And we just tore through that neighborhood to make way for I-75 and 375, but we can redo that 375, so it's kind of like a little valley there, a little viewing area. You can have a little outdoor music concert. You can have a couple streets where the nice cars can parade to and fro. You can have a few good bars that cater to the blues music and other genres of music too, because the young folk like all different styles, so you got to cater to all that. But you have a few places and get started and see what happens. And they're always talking like reparations and whatnot. John Conyers worked real hard to try to get reparations. He would bring that up in Congress all the time. But Detroit can do a lot to help improve its own cause, its own lot, its own stake in the city and whatnot, and say, yeah, this is an African-American city. You know, I didn't do the percentages on black folk in Detroit, but it's around 80% or something. But the black folk are getting a little concerned now too that some gentrification may be taking place, and I don't know if they care so much that the white folk are moving back in. But the reason why some of the white folk are moving back in is because they see opportunity, they see value, and in the past Detroit was a scary place and whatnot, and you didn't feel comfortable living in the city, so everyone fled. Now the tide is kind of turned, and it's going the other way. We have security cameras and all that kind of stuff that can alert you directly to your phone. You know, people do have their cell phones too, just to video if some shenanigans go on, but people are developing their communities. Watch like what happens in North Corktown. Watch what happens in Eastern Market area. They close that incinerator. That opens the doors for a lot of development to happen, and you can get low cost affordable housing. It'll kind of be, I liken it or use the analogy or the metaphor of the monopoly board. At the low end of the spectrum, you have, you know, what is it? Connecticut Avenue, Baltic Avenue. I'll have to get the monopoly. And then when you get at the high end, your Boardwalk and Park Place. That's where the Donald is. But if you're in the low class, you got to start somewhere or whatever. You're starting out. Maybe you're an immigrant. But you work hard and you try to work your way down the monopoly board a little bit. And anyways, you give it a go. You try the best you can and you have programs. But yeah, the city of Detroit could say, hey, let's do something here for the black community to restore what was at one time Hastings Street and Paradise Valley. Let's incorporate what the black folk want. And I can come up with ideas like good restaurants, music venues, a place for people to showcase their cars, their motorcycles, have a fashion show area too, because black folk like to show, not all of them, some of them are shy like me, but a lot of them will show off if they're given the chance. So you say, the black folk in their own community can have those discussions and say, yeah, we want to take over 375 and make this our district and make the whole east side the next hot happening place. But I got to get the maps and what some of the plans were for 375, because they were absolutely atrocious. They were going to take the freeway out of there. I think they were going to fill it all in back with dirt, and then they were going to have 3 lanes of traffic going each way with a median and maybe some bicycle. And it's like nothing there for where they said, it's nice. Well, first off, you don't need 3 lanes of traffic. You just went from a freeway to now a level concrete surface with traffic lights, and that doesn't do much of anything. So there's no improvement there. But yeah, I'm gonna start making some plans here. What I think you can do for Paradise Valley, but just local businesses that cater kind of to the tourist crowd. Detroit doesn't get anywhere near the tourism they should get as compared to some other cities. There's probably a bigger net flow of out dollars to other cities than Detroit gets back in return. Now, the state of Michigan, I think, holds their own. We get visitors that go upstate and travel all of Michigan, and I think we do pretty good with the Pure Michigan ads. So that's terrific. So we might be, we're getting some of those tourism dollar back. I think we have manufacturing, agriculture, and then tourism is our third biggest thing, but I'm sure the state has all the numbers on that. But the city of Detroit should go after that gravy money. That tourism money is gravy money. People are coming to the city. Maybe they want to see their sports team play the Lions or play the Tigers or the Red Wings, and they say, hey, we're going to go on a weekend trip. We're going to watch our team play the Detroit team, but we just want to party, get some good food, have a nice vibe in the city. And catch some music. We have a good music scene in Detroit. We got to let people know where to do all that. Just plan it every weekend. And the Metro Times does a fabulous job of doing that, and some of the newspapers do too. But we could make packages of things to have visitors come to Detroit and just enjoy. I mean, we can certainly make a good weekend trip in Detroit. There's like the city of New York, you can spend a week or more. But Detroit, you could still spend a week in Detroit if you want to scratch the surface a little bit. But Detroit's a nice weekend visit. And Detroiters know how to travel. We see all, when the Lions play out of state, you see all the Lions fans in attendance. They're cheering and rooting. They really make their presence felt. So people in Detroit area travel well to other cities because we have a pent-up travel thing with it. But we need to get people to come to Detroit and not to get tickets into the game. They can watch it at the local bars and taverns, but we need to keep the Lions purebred, just all 100% Lion fans. But anyway, it should be fun this season. But why do we have 2 weeks in between the thing? We got to wait 2 weeks. They have like a start the season a week earlier and then have 2 bye weeks during the season. I don't know. It just seems crazy. And even if you have games Labor Day weekend, you got that extra day Monday, that's a great time to plan a weekend trip anyways. So why not have football? I don't know. There's probably some reason behind that, but I don't know what it is. These are questions that need to be answered. But anyways, yeah, I'm babbling a lot, but yeah, the Paradise Valley, in a sense, you could have reparations. Just say, hey, black folk, you're running this show here. This is your neighborhood. This is your territory. Oh. And I know they want financial money and stuff, and I don't know who's taking up the torch on doing that. I'm not sure how that plays out. But Detroit, what we did in the past was wrong and so forth, but in some semblance, you can kind of make it a little right. It's not going to be the Paradise Valley of old, but gosh darn, we can have fun in this era, this time and generation. You know, we don't have to live in the past. We can create our future here. So, yeah, we know how to have fun. So, just saying all that, just thinking out loud and babbling just on and on and on. Just STFU, right, is the acronym. Shut the, and then I might change it from an F to a D because it rhymes with the word. And I have a duck in my Maverick, but shut the duck up. So STDU. But no, well, urban planning, it's a big thing. And I think it's important, just like when we watch the local news and stuff, they talk about the latest tragedy, the latest ambulance chaser, and the bad things that happen. And then sometimes they get around to a good urban planning story, which is cool. Channel 4 did a nice one on the Ecorse Creek, the northern branch, and flood concerns. So that's a big thing, too, is to have a flood program in place, because that affects the urban environment. So we have to, I didn't hear any talk about a water retention pond. I don't know if that's still on the table or not, but there are things that can be done to mitigate the flooding. And Channel 4 said there's going to be meetings in September. So I'm going to have to keep my ears wide open to hear if I hear something about that. But yeah, just even for buildings too, we got the old Hyatt Regency. I'm going to have to Google that and get the latest info on that. But I think it went to a sheriff's sale. And if the property taxes aren't paid from the previous owner, it gets sold to this other entity. And I think they were out of North Bloomfield. So that might be a good bit of good news if you got a new developer that will do something with the old Hyatt Regency, because that's just a gorgeous building. But there it sits, abandoned since 2018. So 6 years, and I think 6 years is long. Well, I mean, we had COVID, and that certainly threw a monkey wrench in a lot of things. So, yep, COVID was a problem. In fact, I think Biden actually did pretty good pulling us out of that COVID disaster, because that was like a once-in-a-100-year thing. A whole lot of people died, a lot of people panicked, and a lot of people were concerned and freaking out, and with good reason. That was a pandemic. And but the Republicans think everything the Democrats did was wrong, but, Trump dropped the ball on the pandemic. He was clueless, and it was good that he actually lost in 2020, so we had an adult in the room to get us out of that pandemic. But along with that, you got inflation and stuff. You had a lot of dollars out there to start the economy. You had to pay more to get people to work. Nobody wanted to be exposed to a virus and get paid $7 or $8 an hour. So yeah, everybody had to pay more for labor. That's why food costs have gone up. Your Happy Meal or whatever meal you buy at the fast food place, that $5 thing, they have those now, which is a good value thing. But if you order regular off the menu, it's easy to spend $8 to $10 and on up. Man, we went to Tubby's and we got 2 of those foot-long subs. It was like $27. And it's like, when did that happen? But yeah, that's not Biden behind the curtain saying, yeah, I want people to pay a lot for their sub sandwiches. Just raise the prices on them. No, that's the capitalism and the economics and the macro economics in play. There's all this kind of stuff. It's not Biden pulling the triggers, telling the CEOs of these companies to raise their prices on the minions and make them suffer. And it's like, holy cow. Now inflation stabilized. They can do stuff with the interest rates. They have a few tools in their belt, the Federal Reserve, to do to tweak the economy. You want to create jobs, but you want to keep inflation low, and there's a little bit, it's a delicate balancing act. But all in all, I think we made it through the pandemic. We got to the other side okay, and now we're going to have a growth spurt. But to go back in time with Trump, and I just even feel sorry for the women. I just that's horrible to tell them. Now they're going to say, like, if maybe you're pregnant and all of a sudden somebody notices that you're not carrying the child anymore, and they put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, maybe she had an abortion or something, then you send out the Gestapo. There's going to be people that are going to report, who might have gotten an abortion, and then there'll be a jury trial or something, or you'll go in front of the court and the judge will determine if you go to jail or whatever. It's just like, holy cow. The Republicans were all about don't tread on me. I guess maybe that only pertains to taxes and whatnot. They don't want any more IRS agents or anything like that. They want to keep that all on the lowdown. Don't tread on me just means don't take my money and don't bother me none. And let us pollute as much as we want. It's all about making the Benjamins, right? Oh, God. I mean, there's so much to this, and I could go on and on. But, yeah, it does sound certainly like a lot of psychobabble. I'm up to, 48 minutes. I'm not sure how the background video is going. But, yeah, I'm going to be more outspoken, I think, because, I just turned 64, and I realize I'm going down that slippery slope. It's passed the torch on already to the younger generation. And I'm on the downswing or whatever, going down that slide, like a Belle Isle slide kind of thing. But yeah, a little bouncy. But yeah, getting old is not all it's cracked up to be. I mean, it's cool when you're younger and stuff, and you turn 18, and then you turn. Well, now it's 21 for the drinking age, and I think your insurance goes down at 25. But once you kind of hit 30. There's not as much to look forward to, kind of thing. So you get philosophical and stuff, and you think about the future and the world around you and your place in the cosmos. Oh my gosh, it's enough to blow your brains, explode. But yeah, you can think about all number of things, and what's fun is a lot of times you talk to other people and they enlighten you, and you get a different perspective. So there's a lot of diversity, certainly, in the whole thing with the cosmos, how that all got started and whatnot, the religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs. Whew, there's a lot to unpack there. So yeah, I'm just rambling now, but yeah, they'll pull me into the Palestinian conflict. Why don't we we try that peace thing. Israel's bombed everything out. There's nothing really left for them to destroy or explode. They're just wasting bombs on killing people, right? So just stop, retreat, let Gaza, the Palestinians come in, bulldoze all the rubble away, and then rebuild. They have a nice strip along the Mediterranean, so they could build up and maybe have some luxury hotels and some nice beaches along there and do some nice urban planning. But then with the idea that, yeah, you're not going to get bombed again in a few years because you started lobbing bombs at Israel. So that seems to be a thing, that tit for tat kind of thing. You do this, I'll do that. You know, it's a never-ending conflict. It's the Hatfields and McCoys. Not that there's any easy answer to any of this, but I want to concern ourselves with our local area. The more local you get, you know, the better, because that's where you live. This, you know, the Middle East is halfway around the world, and we're spending way too much time trying to figure this out. I'm sick of hearing about Netanyahu. He's an authoritarian. There's a bunch of those. The Kim Jong-un, Putin, Viktor Orban. There's a lot of these authoritarians, and Trump wants to be like them. Those are all his role models. He likes these people. I get a kick out of him calling Kamala comrade when the biggest Russian thing is his bro is Putin. He loves Kim Jong-un or whatever. They were exchanging love letters. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, according to Trump, like, Russia's our buddy now, and yeah, they can just go in Ukraine and I guess just tear it all up or whatnot. I don't know. So yeah, Trump is the comrade. He's Putin. Yeah, they're saying Putin might have something on him. I'm not sure what's going on there. There's a lot of dynamics going on with politics, and we get some information here, some information there. You got to use a little common sense and use some critical thinking or skeptical thinking and analyze the situation for what it is. I have actual trouble a lot of times with, I have friends, they're, the MAGA crowd, a lot of them are white people, white males. And I did the math, too. That's another thing you can do. I got my cheat sheet here. The number of white males in America. So 49.5% male. It was like 50 and something. And there was a 2 or 3 tenths of a percentage point of maybe non-committal or in between or non-gender binary or whatever they call it. Anyways, but the MAGA crowd, let's see, the white it's around 60%. It's going lower, but around 60% of the nation is white. So, and you multiply that by male, because the white privilege usually extends mainly to white males. White women kind of can tag along on the coattails, but women have gotten the short end of the stick too. So it's the white males. Okay, so you multiply 0.593 times 0.495, and it comes out there's like 29.35%. Let's say 30% of the American population is white males, and most of those people I think are for Trump because they like. A part of it is that white privilege, the top of the pyramid and all that. Like, we're better than them. Not all, but some. You got to figure some of them look at it that way, and they're intimidated by immigrants and illegals storming the border and coming in and raping women and children and stealing their jobs. And yeah, it makes for a good commercial or whatnot, but no, that's not really the case of what's going on. They have to do something with the border crisis, but they had a bipartisan plan, and then Trump nixed it. So he said no. He wanted to keep that as a campaign issue. So he's campaigning on immigration, saying he's the guy to fix it. When he did have 4 years to fix it, Mexico didn't pay for any foot or yard of the wall, let alone a mile. They didn't, and then I don't think he put up much of the wall anyways, maybe 100 miles in 4 years. So now we give him a second chance to build more of the wall or whatever, like he's the guy that's going to fix this. They had a good bipartisan plan, and Trump said no. He told the people in Congress no. So I don't know what kind of cult or power position that's amazing that you can have that kind of power. You're the former president, and you can put out a memo or whatever he does on Twitter or X, puts it out there, and yeah, they said nope. And so now they're campaigning on immigration, on which the Democrats would say, hey, listen, we had a plan. Why don't we implement this and see what happens and then take it from there? That's a start. We can work on it, and we can tweak it down the road or whatever. But let's not just play politics with this. You're bitching about it, but then you're not letting anything happen with it. So that's just unbelievable. That's dirty politics. And then the immigration story is complicated, too, because, know it or not, a lot of these farmers and people that need migrant workers, they get the cheap labor to come in, and they don't get paid that $15 an hour with the threat of being sent back over the border. I'm sure that's a kind of a fear factor. They don't speak out too much, but I'm sure they're working for really low wages, and the farmers and the people that need these workers are loving it. They'll still bitch to everyone else, oh, it's horrible, but they're making money off the backs of these migrant workers. And then these migrant workers also create demand, so they buy products. The money that they do make, they spend in the economy, and that's good for the whole country. But, of course, the whole thing is the handful of people, and there always is a group in any population size. There are going to be some people that are no good, or they're evildoers or whatever. They're just psychopaths or whatever, like the Hannibal Lecter type people. Trump likes Hannibal Lecter too, but no, the people that, they're psychopaths or whatever. You're going to get a few of those. So the people come in and maybe they raped somebody, maybe there was a murder or whatever. People get murdered or killed all the time, and there's a story between each and every one. But, we can do a policy. You can't totally eliminate everything, but you can help stop or work on it. So there's room to be done, but you can't take control over everyone. There's people that fall through the cracks all the time. And there's evil people in the world all the time. We see a bunch of autocrats all over the world. How did Putin just think he could invade Ukraine? That's just nuts. Netanyahu, okay, you can have a response to the terror attacks they had, but they've killed to the tune of over 40,000 now, and there's a point where you got to say, okay, enough's enough. We have a ceasefire. Let's have a demilitarized zone, maybe like they have between South Korea and North Korea, and do that. So, because these two people, they just hate each other to death. It's just crazy, just how they hate each other. So, Holy Land, that's a crock of shit. I hate hearing that term, Holy Land. What is holy about people trying to kill each other all the time? Oh, how's that for a rant? All right, folks, it's what do I got here? 59 minutes. Okay, I got 1 minute to wrap it up. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great week or weekend or day or afternoon or night or morning, whatever. And now you can watch it on streaming, too. That might be better to watch it on streaming. There's some kind of glitch in the public access channel in Dearborn Heights, channel 18. There's like video glitches. It sounds like my program, it's not the best quality to be sure, but there's a lot of video glitches, and it even shows up on the community billboard. You can listen to the music in the background, and then you'll hear a split-second glitch, and then it goes back. It's not the video glitch, so they might have to change something at the head end on South Gully Road, 2800 South Gully. I'll have to get with them on that. But anyways, yeah, the quality's not the best. But folks, thanks for watching. If you did take a peek, and I can do that starfish. Hopefully somebody watched. I made a difference. All right. Good night.